So I remember seeing this fan art way back about Ragna being dressed up as a priest of a church. And it made me realize, like, if Ragna didn't have to suffer through all that stupid ass crap he had to go through as a kid, what would he grow up to be? Now, obviously, since he wouldn't lose his family, he wouldn't go on his whole revenge tirade, he would have never lost his arm, etc., etc. I guess this is more of like what if Ragna had an alternate life kind of video? And I have no idea what Ragna could have been, but my idea is that he could have been, a priest of the church. It would make sense. I probably will never see Ragna becoming a member of the NOL or something like that. Because Celica will still be alive. Because Celica has survived a long time. They know the magicians have a good life force. And it's the fact that Celica survived this long after the whole Dark War business and all that other crap went down. She survived long enough to actually, adopt Ragna into the church and junk like that. So I feel as though Celica would still be alive. There's no way she'd be dead unless, she died of natural causes or something like that. Because in fact, the Celica still looked about the same. She didn't look exactly the same. She looked a little older, but I doubt she would have died by the time Ragna would have became 20. And there's no way. For me personally, I don't believe that. But I feel as though if Ragna never went through all that painful bull crap and, he just had a normal, regular life in the church, he would grow up to become a priest of sorts. Celica was one of the sisters, and since, Noelle/Saya, at the end of CF they fused together and became a sister at the church, I feel as though Saya would become a sister herself, because it only makes sense. Jin, on the other hand, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what Jin could possibly be. My guess is that Jin could still go to the NOL. I still see that happening for him, because having Jin still in the church doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. It just makes more sense that he would be in the NOL. Because when I see what happened at the end of CF, I'm thinking, yeah, he'll still be at the NOL. I mean, the hell, since Saya/Noelle was still a sister, etc., etc. I guess I can see Jin going to the NOL, still doing his regular business, still having Tsubaki as his secretary, etc., etc. Ragna, yeah, Ragna the Priest Edge. I don't know why. It's just always something I always found interesting. It's like, what happened if Ragna never went through all this bullcrap? What happened if Ragna never encountered Terami, never dealt with the Azure, never lost his family, just literally start normal. Except, the whole experiments and stuff like that. From the moment they were found by Celica, from the moment the children were found by Celica, what would happen? That's what I'm in. What would happen, if everything was normal from then on out? There would be no Terami, there would be no whole, Jin getting jealous, Yukiansa BS, no, none of that, no bad things. And that was that's my guess, that would happen. I mean, it seems like a stretch, but I kind of don't see it, though. What else could Ragna be? I mean, the only other things I see for normal career opportunities for Ragna could be a member of the NOL, or a vigilante. Ragna just seemed like a vigilante to work on his own and, take down crimes and stuff like that, or just wander the earth. But I would see no reason for Ragna to wander the earth for no particular reason. I feel like he would stick close to the church. Because, where would Ragna go? What would be the point of him? Where would he go? I mean, Rachel will still be around, but, I mean, there's nothing for Rachel to tell Ragna to do, because there's nothing really going on. If everything was normal, there would be no freaking reason for Ragna to go on a revenge against the NOL, and, there would be no reason for him to look for Saya, and etc., etc. The only other things I can see Ragna doing is either wandering, joining the NOL, or becoming a priest. And yay, Ragna, you did it! You finally got your happy ending, kinda. Yay. Kinda. I don't know how else would it still work out, because, if Saya's still there, there's no Noelle. Then again, no. There'd be no Noelle, though. There could be Noelle, but, Noelle knew and landed, but I'm trying to keep this as if, she wasn't cloned at all. Everything's normal. No cloning, no BS. So, we're gonna lose Noelle, Saya, and, Lambda, and Izanami. And that hurts me. But, sorry, Ragna, for you to be happy, you can't have clones and, goddesses of death stealing your body. Stealing your sister's body. We just can't have that. No one can have that, and that's a bad idea. Though, I would wonder, how would the whole Bloodedge sword thing work? Because he can't, because, he couldn't really use Ars Magus without the Azure anyway. And, like, I guess you can find a way to work it. I mean, hell, like, you got like the Amano Hokusaka feeling where they can use like your exorcist. I guess Ragna can learn something like that, but like something like an exorcist kind of skill. But I have no idea how would he even use it. Like Ragna without the Azure just seems weird to me. Like, and him without his Azure abilities just seems even weirder. And since, you know, all this bullcrap didn't happen in his life, he wouldn't become Bloodedge in the later years, so... Like, the loop kind of wouldn't happen if Ragna lived a normal life to begin with, and that means there would be no Bloodedge, no Aramasa either, so... Ragna would have to develop a whole new skill set. I do see Ragna still using swords, though. Like, he can still, like, you know, develop a sword skill, like, you know, find, like, a big, blunt sword weapon and still use that, but I have no idea, like, what he would use it for. He could just use it to, like, exterminate Seether monsters. We could do that, you know. Seether monsters could be going to the church, and he probably can, like, you know, exterminate someone around them. I can see Ragna doing that. That's all I can. I don't know. I don't know what Ragna could do. It's so weird. Because at that point, Ragna would be more mellowed out. You know, he wouldn't even have his white hair at that point, because he wouldn't even have no... There would be no point in him getting the Azure. What's the point of getting Ragna the Azure if his arm ain't even missing, you know? And it's just like, you know, he's still blonde. He still has his green eyes and junk like that. And like, ugh. It don't look right. He's like a completely different person. I'm so used to looking at Ragna a certain way that looking at him anywhere else just look weird. And then, like, you know, he won't have his iconic red jacket because he would never become Bloodedge in the first place. And ugh, there'd be so much of Ragna taken away. You know, his whole life made him the person he is, and without all of that, Ragna is just like a shell of his former self. Ain't that something? That's actually kind of depressing when I think about it. Damn, he's just a shell of his former self. Poor Ragna. That poor bastard. It's sad, though. It's sad what he would become. Like, it'd be kind of nice to see what he would be like, but at the same time, I'm like, ugh, where's the rest of Ragna? He just took everything about him. I mean, and seeing Ragna completely melted, I still see him acting the same way, you know, acting more like his normal personality, but like, you know, a little bit kinder, a little bit more, well, a little bit wiser, you know, not so quick to jump to angry stuff, you know, just, you know, growing up around Celica, actually growing up around her and junk like that probably melt his ass out, like, especially with his family around. Well, he'd probably be around Saya a lot, and damn, dude, like, imagine spending your entire life with Saya. Like, damn, like, Saya was already incesty for Ragna anyway, so that's gonna be an awkward thing. It's gonna get real awkward just being his entire life with Saya. Holy hell. I can't. Ugh. No. No.